Don't kill me, man! Don't kill me! Don't kill me, man!
I'm not going to kill you. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
And this is the Artful Pose.
Let's try it again. Hello everybody and welcome to the Artful Pose. Today we're going to be looking at something a bit special. Not like everything else is special. This one is a bit special because it is an Amazon exclusive, and we are going to be looking at DC's new 2026 Premiere line, yes, by Mattel. You can see by the little logo down at the bottom, because those of you who are out of the know, DC is slowly drifting away from McFarlane Toys and onto Mattel, and this was their one of their first Amazon exclusives, which is a 3-pack consisting of blue and gray Batman with the black symbol, very reminiscent of Hush, and, you know, the Jim Lee style. We have Bane, very classic looking, and of course we got classic blue and black Nightwing, very cool. Kind of interested about that belt, which is very not typical of Nightwing, but hey, we're gonna take a look. Beautiful boxing overall. You got some really cool, get the camera, designs all around the packaging to make it seem as if it's part of some rubble due to a big old fight with Bane. It looks like there's some destruction in the background. Let's look at the side of the box. Ooh, more destruction. And of course we got this beautiful display on the back showcasing all 3 figures and what they can do with posability. Pretty dynamic. I am impressed. One of the things about these, and for those of you who don't know, oh, look, see, there's even the Jim Lee Hush Batman right there. Ah, called it. Is that these are a brand new line by Mattel, both for kids, primarily focused for kids and play sessions, but they're great for adults too because they go great with the Marvel Legends 1/12 scale 6-inch. They're lacking in some posability as opposed to some more premium figures, but hey, who cares, because check that out. That looks like fun. You can do a whole bunch of stuff. Shoot, I'm sacrificing Ab Crunch. I got all 3 figures exactly for about $34, a little under like $32, which roughly boils out to about $11 a piece with change for 3 figures. Not bad. So let's crack it open and play with these toys. Well, there they are out of the box. What do you think? All right, I gotta move around the figures a little bit here and there, and they are loose in some spots, but not in a bad way. I know David might see them as loosey-goosey, but I promise you I didn't do any augmentation. I went straight from opening them to putting them right here. I moved the joints around a little bit to give a feel, or get a feel, and to figure out, okay, any type of quality control issues I need to address before talking to you, the audience, which, by the way, thank you for showing up to our video. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. We are a fledgling channel wanting to grow. So, let's get into it. Who should we start off with first? I say let's go with the big man, since he is one of the newest sculpts, and then I'll get into the sculpt type comparisons to the other DC heroes. I'm not going to say Justice League, because not every hero is a Justice League member. But I will go into our the other DC heroes that I was actually able to find in this line. Funny enough, way down here in the South, we got slim pickings. We really do. And sometimes they hit the store, sometimes they don't, which is why with an Amazon exclusive, I don't really see it as a bad thing. So let's go into the big man himself, since these of Bane. DC Premiere Bane. Let's check him out. Well, he's brand new. See if I can get the light more directly on him, so you can see that even though this is a much cheaper type priced figure, it does have some good sculpting detail. The, I guess you'd call it the muscle shirt, is all painted on. Nothing is sculpted in terms of on the torso for the fabric. That is all a paint app, so when you see it online and you're thinking about buying it, yes, that is not sculpted. However, what is sculpted are all the abdominal muscles and the creepy roid veins. Look at that. That's it's a lot of veinage. Jeez Louise. Dang. And let's go over some of the sculpt. But other than that, the head is all textured. Very nice. And I'm surprised. Here, I want to say something. going from the head back to the shirt, there's only a minute amount of bleeding, which, considering what the sculpting and how the paint apps had to go on for such an inexpensive price, I'm impressed. So let's go on to the head sculpt. Pretty basic Bane. This is both paint app and the face 90s Spawn-esque looking face is very sculpted on. Great red eyes, little to no bleeding, and of course on the back he has his Venom hookup that goes right in the head. Now, this I thought was really cool. Thank you, Mattel. This is where they're kind of like the Nintendo of toy companies. They're all about playing, right up there with even Jada Toys and a couple others. But one thing Mattel was always about play, use your imagination, is that the Venom thing pops right out of the head. So as we know, if you're Batman and you're wanting to defeat Bane, you go for the juice and slice it off. So yes, you can do that. Pops right off. So if you want to mimic those scenes in the cartoon, the comic books, and the video games, you can do it. The kids can do it. You can do it if you're not a kid. Really nice sculpt work on the gloves. There's some, you can see some of the, reinforced knuckles there, which is very nice. You can do some rotation. Let's roll around. Very little to no bleeding on the glove. Very good. Got some sculpted nails, very cartoony, and I love the cartoony because it just adds to more play. He's got the belt. This is all made from one piece, similar to the Venom piping. He's got sculpted butt with his butt pockets. The pants are all nicely sculpted. They feel a little loose, but hey, very welcomed in comparison to, say, like McFarlane or other toys that have made Bane, where they make them so stiff, I'm like this, and the peg just breaks. But this is a good medium. It moves fairly smooth. He's got sculpted boots with a nice big old wrestler type lace up. Yeah, because he from being South America, he's supposed to have a very luchador type look to him. So let's go over articulation since he's a brand new sculpt. He can look up, not that far, not that much. Can look down. Can rotate his head fairly well. But once you rotate it too far, this does tend to pop off. But that's okay, that's part of the playability aspect. And let's see, he can go out that far with his arms. No butterfly joint, but he can do full rotation. Oops, see, the Venom just pops right out. Man, you gotta get control of your roid rage. Rotates. Now with the one that's actually hooked to the Venom arm, as soon as you rotate it, pops right off. So it can get full rotation. However, the juice pump will get in the way and pop right off. It does rotate at the elbow right here. Doop, boop, boop, boop. Rotates all the way around. I'm not going to do it with this one because we know it's going to happen. It's going to pop the juice. On both hands, there is rotation. Rotates all the way around. And there is a small hinge, but because of the sleeve, the glove part, it doesn't really go... I mean, you gotta have to force it, and then it just kind of springs back. Same with the fist. It's got a hinge. It does rotate, but it doesn't really... You can force it, and then it kind of stays there. No ab crunch, but does have waist swivel. Whee! Oh no, I think I'm going to puke. You puny man. Rotate. Alright, so he can kick about this far out. Pretty nicely done. Double hinged knees. Very nice. Can kick about that far. Can go about that far and go all the way back. Does have a boot cut, rotates at the boot. No ankle rockers, sadly. So no ab crunch and no ankle rockers. Hey, but this is what these are. They're meant to be played with as well as display and for a decent price as opposed to $80 and up. But it fits fairly well. Very nice. All right, let's move on to the next one. And we got Nightwing. Oh my gosh, check out that face sculpt. It is a young, handsome man. So it looks like they're mimicking similar to the Robin look. So I guess if you want to say grown up, if you want to go with this one, because this is very Dick Grayson type Robin color scheme. They also have very similar type jawlines and noses. I don't know if you can see the difference. He has lighter skin though, and he has a little bit darker skin, so you can say this one's more Tim Drake. Whatever Robin you want this to be, you can make him. But we know that Dick Grayson is definitely Nightwing. This is all beautifully painted on. I can barely see any bleeding whatsoever. Wraps all the way around. Now I understand why there's the utility belt, because so you can put the escrima sticks, put it on the belt. But we know that normal Nightwing, he usually just has clips on his back, which I think are so cool. And the belt itself is very reminiscent of the Robin belt with the big round buckle, just with actual pockets, or similar to the very first appearance of Batman. It's pretty smooth all the way down. Got some down at the boots, got some sculpting there to show you that the tights wrap around underneath the boot. Very interesting done. It seems to be using the same body buck as Flash. And the way I can tell is because of the pectoral muscles and the abdominal muscles seem to have similar cuts, and they stand about the same. So we can say that if you have Flash seems to be the base buck for more I don't want to say athletic. They're all athletic. They're superheroes, for crying out loud. I would say you're more slender, gymnastic-y type hero. Or like a runner. A runner really wouldn't be all bulky. There'd be a lot less to carry less weight. So I guess for that type of character, they're going to be using the Flash body buck, which is not bad. Hey, it works. It works. I mean, no complaints here. I mean, if you find one that works, it works. And I have to admit, this works very well. You can tell he's an athletic, gymnastics type character. I mean, he was part of a circus show, so with acrobats, so any type of, that's the word, any type of acrobatic kind of character, I could see them using this body buck. So just like the Flash, let's go over the rotation. You can lift left and right, pretty loose in the head. I wonder if can you take it off? Nope. Looks up, looks down. Now, this just popped into my head. I wonder if we can do it. So, no, it won't work because he has a black mask. But I have the Joker there, and the Joker came with these Jokerized face plates. I wonder if it works with the Nightwing, because this is the Robin one. I mean, you can kind of make it work if you painted the mask black. You can have a Jokerized Nightwing. Just want to say, because I noticed they have very similar face shapes between the very obvious chin and the sharp nose with the... It's not really a domino mask. If it is a domino mask, this type of mask, please let me know down in the comments. I always get those confused between that and the ones that go over the nose. I thought those were domino masks. If these, I think it's just regular face masks. Alright, so let's go over articulation. So we can look down that far, you can look up that far. Arms can go out, which you get that really cool, jump pose. Whee! He does come with his escrima sticks. Didn't want to really mention that as an accessory because he's already holding them. So yeah, he's got the 2 escrima sticks, and they look like they go right in the back. I'll show you here. So they got a little peg. Yeah, it's a peg hole, and then you feed it there. Then you take the other one, and you feed it there. I'm not really comfortable with it. It's not my favorite. I personally like the ones that go on the back, but hey, this works for what it is, using a base body instead of doing a whole brand new sculpt. The paint is really nice all the way around where you get the bird. So yeah, he has his utility belt, but yes, same as the Flash, rotates at the elbow, rotates at the wrist, and there's a hinge. You can do a split. Legs can go out this far. Can go that far. Double hinge knees. Rotates at the boot, and no ankle rockers. He does hold on to the escrima sticks very well. I'm impressed. So you can get some good playtime with Nightwing. Yeah! That's cool. And I don't see, I guess if you want to take it off, how do you take it off? I'm trying to see if there's like a clip or something. Looks like the part that actually holds the escrima sticks is what feeds it through the belt. and locks it in place for the most part, but I'm not seeing where you can actually detach it, because with the Batman one, you can detach. Oh, wait, you can do it right at the belt buckle. So, yes, you can pull it right there, and the belt can come off. So if you want a more traditional Nightwing and just have him hold his escrima sticks, you can do that too, and not mess up the figure. Thank you very much, Mattel. And now let's go on to the man himself, the Batman. If you already have the single-release Batman and are wondering if you should go with this, it's actually just a preference. I wanted this one as well, along with the Bane and the Nightwing, because you can't get them anywhere else. They were not part of a single release. It was only part of this 3-pack, and for $30 to get a decent Bane and even a Nightwing, I thought, that beats even Marvel Legends, in my opinion. But if you also were thinking, well, what am I going to do with an extra Batman? And how dare you ever think that? You can always have an extra Batman. What's wrong with you? So the single release is a much more, I don't know what you want to say, lighter, turquoise type blue. No, that's hard to see with my blue background. And the newer version is more of that darker, almost like a light navy type blue. And the silver, this is silver, this is gray. And this was made out of that plastic that is meant, when you pour it into the mold, gives you those nice metal swirlies, and I see that all on. Now for me, I normally like that with my metal characters. However, I just love that swirly, poured look to begin with, so that is not a gripe in my eyes whatsoever. I absolutely love it. I did do a custom cape with this Batman because I like to do the whole whoop, you know, Batwing thing. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to do that. This one, if you decide to get this one, and this is going to be your base Batman, I think he's actually a great Batman to choose from, because if you like the Jim Lee, Batman Hush, Batman, this is that. It's exactly that. In fact, I have the McFarlane. Of course, you can definitely see by, here's a good example of size and scale. The McFarlane DC Multiverse Hush 2 Batman, all it was is it's a re-release with slightly different shading and a fabric cape, which is awesome. But you can easily tell, same kind of basic symbol, same basic belt setup. I would have loved the pockets, but this is the base belt that Mattel is going with, which is perfectly fine, actually takes up less space, so you won't hinder any type of articulation. Because seeing as this model, it just goes straight crotch and straight into the hips, it makes sense not to do the big belt from a logistics point of view. And it works because they got the right shading. And you can see the shading is more of that Jim Lee Batman Hush style. And well, welcome. That's a classic for a lot of people. So for your true 1/12 6-inch scale, this is a great Hush type Batman. I love the blues on this, and the silvers just really make it pop. It makes the symbol stand out, which I do appreciate. I'm not a big fan of the bat symbol blending in with the suit, because then why even have the symbol to begin with? That's for us, the audience. It doesn't need to make sense in the film as long as everybody accepts it. I mean, shoot, that's how Star Wars works. But this is great. I think everything pops. The gold tinge to the belt, the utility belt, gives it that classic Dark Knight feel. It's got a nice fabric cape, beautiful color, matches the rest. And the other thing I like is that the texture difference between where the blue pieces are and the rest of the suit adds to it as well. Gives it more of a leathery type look as opposed to armor. And with the silver, it clearly says, oh, he's wearing Kevlar from head to toe, which is insane because you'd have to be very, very, very strong to be able to do that, and you'd probably be out of breath just before you're ready to jump off the building. But it's not real, so of course he can do it. It's Batman logic. Now Batman does come with some accessories. He comes with these battle fists that are kind of a clamshell type of thing. Look very much like Hulkbuster fists. So I guess how they work is they go over the hand. Oh, no, that's upside down. Okay, so this would be, no, it gotta go based off of the scallops. But you see, that's where I'm confused. Because it should, alright, if that's how it wants to work. And you just kinda, no, I need a male and female. Let's see if I can snap it on right. If I'm even doing it right. Shoot, geez Louise. Here I am struggling trying to keep it on film. All right, let's see how this looks. Because parents out there, you might be having to do this for your kids. I don't know. I'm not being able to make it work. Come on, it's supposed to be kid-friendly. Oh, I see. I see. This is why kids read directions. This Batman scallops goes in this groove, and then it fits. Oh, okay. So now he's got just one big bat fist, like Fisto. Brr, Bat Fisto, you just got fisted. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go there. That's pretty cool. So you can give, bam! Like, your rest of your arm won't get shattered. But he's wearing full-blown Kevlar and jumping off a roof, so what do I know? That's pretty cool. That's neat. Add some armor accessories to it. Very, very neat. So, if this is going to be your base Batman, even for the kids, you might have some Marvel Legends. This is what they mostly go with, that type of scaling. So, you can actually do some, as David would put it, mixed metaphors, or most of us would say cross multiverses. So, there's X-Men Cyclops, and then we got Amazing Spider-Man, just to give you a good idea between their normal base body buck and their skinny body buck. And it actually matches to scale. And even, let me move Batman. If you get Bane in the mix, Bane's supposed to be a big, hulking luchador. And there you go. He's a big, hulking luchador. Sadly, I do not have a McFarlane or any other Bane by comparison because, folks, those are expensive and I am not made out of money and this is a single income household. I'm just trying to make some bread. So I have not purchased that one. But yeah, overall, I mean, these are really good. And you can see, even with the alternative paint jobs, here I got Superman, goes very well with Superman. You can easily put him into your display with the rest of your DC heroes. That's great. And I think this one actually goes better with the Joker than the other one. And I love that navy. That's just, I love it. Give me. All right, so there you have it. This is the new DC Premier 3-pack Amazon exclusive consisting of Batman, Bane, and Nightwing. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit that like button. It's really easy, and guess what? It's free, and subscribing is free, and you'll be helping out some family that you don't even know. So, as always, we greatly appreciate all your support. Comment down below, and may all your poses be artful.
Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.